Boss Sports Media.
Holla if you hear me.
Football Sunday.
It's another
best
week in
day.
life. It's another week in the best sport of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Simple as that.
National Rugby League, baby. Let's go.
What?
The Rugby League, right?
You know, Diamond Dave, you should create your own. You should be like Dwayne Johnson with the UFL or whatever the hell it is anymore and create your own rugby league. I would watch that. I would.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Here
Because
we
when I
go.
go out, like especially when I'm shirtless, people come up to me, they're like, Dwayne? I'm like, no, Dave. Diamond Dave. They always think I'm Dwayne Johnson. It's crazy.
Yeah. I always go out and people think I'm Shaq.
Oh, I get it, dude. You look like him.
I know, a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. Until tonight, I thought you were Shaq. I just thought you had like a, yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Shaq
You're
Diesel.
welcome.
Shaq Diesel.
All I'm saying is I see Nate put on his shades, but he took them off. What's up with that?
My Willy Wonka ones.
Are you not one to be nasty? Oh, there it is.
They're like
He's
fucking
nasty
airplane
tonight.
goggles.
I like them.
Coming in
I
hot.
like them. Dan, when are you going to join the group of the glasses?
I'm keeping it traditional. You got to have one that stands out.
Yeah, you got to have the responsible one.
Yeah, you gotta have the dumbass take one.
Responsible one.
Yeah,
I
Nick
mean-
Foles.
Nick Foles.
I'm drinking me some liquor. Just
Are
not
you?
drinking no whiskey. I'll be honest with you. I'm stuck over here in Indiana, and after a certain time, I can't buy any beer. You know?
What?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta go to like
Yeah.
50 miles to
Wait,
see a
what?
store.
Are you being
Yeah,
serious? Or are you
I
sarcastic?
swear to God, it's like at 4:00 they stop. Like you can't buy alcohol
In the afternoon?
in the afternoon. It's like from 12 to 4.
So one side of the state you have an hour time differential, the other one you have another time differential, and then you can't buy alcohol till 4:00. Who the hell would live in Indiana?
Not me.
Diamond Dave.
You might as well move to Vegas. You're a Raiders fan. You might why stay here
Yeah.
anymore?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. How's your guys' football day been?
Oh, it's been great. It's been stressful, but great because
It
Right.
was.
my boy
It was.
Saquon, best running
Yeah.
back in the league right now.
Top speed
start off right
21.66.
What's that?
Top speed in the NFL 21.66 miles
Yeah,
an hour.
Fucking
Took
yeah,
off.
Start off with that game.
He did take off.
I tell you what, Diamond Dave's got the bull by the horns tonight. Okay, I got the game set up over here on my other screen.
I got the bull by the balls. All right.
Which game?
I'm an
Cowboys game or just
See, I was going for the balls, but like you had them and I couldn't. I was jealous.
You hold on, real quick before anybody says something. The Rams tied up the Niners.
Did they?
Holy shit! And they're at the 50. I don't know if they're kicking.
Oh,
they.
Wow.
Dude, the Rams returned it for 37 yards to the 50. And there's 42 seconds left. The Rams are about to win. They're
Did
down
Kittle
24
play
to
today?
10 in the fourth.
Wow.
24 to
Yeah,
10.
they are.
That's crazy. Who would have thought the injured ass Rams? beating
dude,
the
Sean
Niners?
McVay. I think Sean McVay is one of the. He's a very good, like steady coach. But then he has like hot moments, like when he won the Super Bowl. But then, like, he's good. He's competitive. Like, he could take any team and make him competitive.
I think so too. Sean McVay's always been a good head coach since he's been.
Let me ask you this, and I know the Chargers have kind of been lately, other than now that they got hardball. But LA, whose team is it? The Rams or the Chargers?
Whoever the visiting team is.
Well, Raiders usually when they go in there.
I want to talk about the Raiders.
No, I'm serious. When they played the Chargers 2 years ago at SoFi, they wouldn't sell to Raider fans because we go in like full. LA, we brought them their first Super Bowl. But let's start with Thursday.
Ooh,
Guys.
Aaron Rodgers.
That's a
Looking
simple game
good.
to talk about. Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers getting his rhythm back. I've said to a bunch of people, a couple friends that are Dolphins fan, I said, if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, they're making a push for that division. He's like, oh, no. Look, who do they have on offense? Dude, they have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen that stepped up, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams who's showing up, Aaron Rodgers throwing in the ball with a connection to Alan Lazard since Green Bay. I think the Jets, it can be their division. Depends how they play against the Bills and the rest of their schedule, obviously. But I think Aaron Rodgers is back. I think he is back.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Not that I wouldn't argue it. I think it was gonna take him some time to get in a rhythm. But I think now that he is, they got a shot. They got a legitimate shot. He's got to stay healthy. Simple as that. If he goes down, it's out. It's over.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Dallas is making a game.
Yeah, I did just see that. That's
Dallas
what I heard
just scored, and it is 28-25 Baltimore with 2:53 left in this game. And CD didn't freaking score, and I need him to score.
Yeah, that's
there's still time. There's still time.
Some 2 good 4 o'clock games there, but we're gonna catch up on that one here in a minute. But all I got to say with the Jets Patriots, Jets should have obviously won that game. The Patriots really don't have anybody, but I think Aaron Rodgers is getting back to the way he was.
Yeah,
even though he is 40, I don't care. He's still playing good.
Yeah,
when you're good, you're good. I feel like Tom Brady could come back, and like I'm not saying he's going to go win the Super Bowl, but I feel like he could be very competitive and has a good chance to. Like he hasn't played for a couple years, but like
he got the weapons.
When you're good and you understand the game, nothing's changed.
I think if you brought Brady back and put him on the Browns, that's a legitimate title contender with their defense.
Or the Dolphins.
I really like both of them teams. I really do. But agreed, just Aaron Rodgers, he still has it in him. I mean, he's still got young guys around him. He doesn't need to run it all. He can still get out of the pocket a little bit. But that, if we had to pick a game, that's a lock. That's a lock bet. The Jets should have won that period. Simple.
He's in him, brother.
Yeah.
He's got it in him, brother. But I think Aaron Rodgers, yep, he's back. Jets are back.
Dave, do you have anything to say about it? Or do you agree pretty much on a lot of that?
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna either sink or swim with the Jets. Patriots, they started off strong, lost their past couple. Now, was it a fluke? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, can we talk about the best team in the NFL?
What's that? What's that, Nate?
Can we talk about the best team in the NFL right now?
We're going to 1 o'clock?
The Giants?
The Eagles?
The Giants, Browns?
Sure, we could talk about the 2 worst.
Well, you said the best team in the NFL. I figured you're talking about the Giants.
That's funny.
No, let's jump to the Eagles, Saints. I'm game.
Go ahead. We'll start with that's a 1 o'clock game.
My heart rate, roller coaster. I was texting Dan the entire game.
I had to text you guys too.
That game was horrid to watch. The defense played great. Offense struggled. It was the play calling. Should have been more points on that board. Smitty fucking up the route early in the game with Hurts' interception. That's a touchdown. The field goal before half should have kicked it. Field goal after half didn't kick it. Should have been a heavier game by the Eagles offensively with how Jalen Hurts looked good. I'm going to say he looked good. He didn't have a passing touchdown. He had a fumble and an interception, but he looked good.
Let me ask you this. Coming into that game, Carr throwing the 44 points up last week. Were you guys worried?
A little bit. Not going to lie.
I would be lying to say that I wouldn't be worried. Here's the reason being too, especially with the way Carr was playing. We all know this. We've said this before. Derek Carr is going to either make that team good and take them to the next level, or he's going to make that team garbage and they're not going to win a game. Because today, Eagles defense did step up. Last week against the Falcons, you let the Falcons go 80 yards down the field in less than a minute, score the winning touchdown, game over, whatever. It's over. It's in the past. But with Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara playing, and Raheed Shaheed, or what it was, Raheed Shaheed, I think, and him having 100-some yards last game, he's a deep threat, and he didn't have a single completion. But even still, he didn't have a single reception today. Kamara was limited to like 60 yards. Olave, he had a couple receptions. He did. But what did Carr finish with? I mean, I think he finished the game with
14 and 25, 142, a touchdown and a pick.
Yeah, so I think the way that the Eagles defense was, to me, didn't make me realize how good Jalen Hurts actually did have a good game, realistically.
Yeah, he was 29 of 38 for 311 and a pick.
So
You
I'm
know,
looking at the scoring summary here, not to interrupt you, Dan. So the Saints kicked a field goal at 6:51 in the first quarter, and then they didn't start scoring until the fourth. Am I reading that right?
yeah,
Yeah, fourth with 9:49 in the fourth, they got a field goal.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I was saying off that, yes, Hurts had a pick. I'm not putting that pick on Hurts at all. That's on Smitty. Smitty came out of his route. I wish I had something for you or something to show you. Actually, I might. Smitty came out of his route, and he just broke flat, or he didn't break flat. Like he broke. This isn't the route, but I'll show you the end of his break. So he broke like that because he slipped. You see that how he went up? This is so stupid. But
That
this
was
should have broke. Should have broke like a 7, flat like
Okay.
that. That's where Hurts threw it for the touchdown. It's a touchdown or at the most an incompletion, but Smitty fucked up his route. That's a touchdown incompletion.
I do want to say and give props to your high tech graphics you brought up.
Yeah.
So,
I paid big money.
Nasty Nate bringing the heat, baby.
Yes, sir. That's.
The-
I mean, you could see if you watch the replay, he slips and he goes right into Matthew, but he's supposed to break that hard and be right at the ball, and Jalen threw it perfect, but Smitty was behind him. Devontae Smith for you un-Eagles fans. Smitty.
The last comment that I'll say on that game is Eagles defense did show up. We also you cannot take away the fact that we have no Devin White, we have no AJ Brown, we lost Lane Johnson, we lost Devontae Smith, we lost Britton Covey, who's not
Darius
a number
Slay.
one receiver. Darius Slay. We have basically our second string, except for Dallas Goedert, Saquon, Quinion Mitchell, who really probably didn't even think was going to start. No Isaiah Rodgers, who's healthy and still not playing. That's another topic for another day. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But Saquon is with the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon is the Christian McCaffrey of the 49ers.
Yep.
The guy's got almost 450 yards rushing on the season. He's got 5 touchdowns already. It's unbelievable to see. I mean, I have nothing to say. You know, the Eagles should have lost that game, but they did pull it out, you know, from dumb play calling. And that's all I got to say with it.
Okay. Is that all you guys got for the Eagles?
Great game.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch much, but towards the end, I came in, like I said, with it. I think the Eagles had just scored then, and I text you guys like, oh, they might lose this. I don't know. The Eagles, I'm going to say this as someone that is not a fan. So I have no really, and I'm not just saying this to get you guys riled up. It worries me that maybe the Eagles are not what we think they are. Is that safe to say?
It's a fair assumption.
I don't think losing Kelsey was like the big thing. I almost feel like there's a video or a spot where they showed Jalen Hurts and he looked frustrated, like he was just over it. And is it your guys' coaching? Is that what's stopping you guys?
It's what it's been. I mean, but I don't know. I think he looked good today. I think he passed the ball really well where it needed to be, drove him downfield, big plays, big third down plays, big scrambling plays. I think the Eagles, we have nothing to worry about. Especially with the bye coming up in 2 weeks.
That's a good thing on our part, especially with how many guys are hurt right now. But I think we've said this even before NFL season started is everybody goes to the coaching, and I'll even sit there. I talking to Nate earlier, you know, I'm like, you know what? The way I saw the Eagles play, I said, I really wish that they would lose this game, have a shit season, get rid of Nick Sirianni. And then the more I thought about it later in the game, I'm like, guys either want to play or they don't. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you could have a defensive scheme, you could do this, you could put this together, but if these guys aren't making the plays like they're supposed to, we're going to pay these guys $50 million to go out there and play. A coach can tell them all they want, but the coach ain't on the field at the end of the day. I mean, they're not, you know, so is it the coaching? Sure. I guess we could say that, but we're not blitzing as much. Okay, well, that's one thing. Yeah, that's on the coach. But things like that, they got pressure. Carter showed up today, and that's just with all these guys around the league on every single team. The guys either want to play, or you could be on like Carolina, which we'll probably get to 0-2, and they come out and do what today? You know what I mean? It's just like, so it's whoever really wants to play and show up.
Yeah, I think that's your new. I think every week you somehow manage to find a worse take to say. Today, that was probably the worst take I've ever heard Dan saying, the Eagles, I hope the Eagles lose and do shit this year so they get a new head coach. That is that might be, I think that's number one worst take I've ever heard.
I'm gonna back Dan here because I had Josh McFucking Daniels as my coach, and I prayed they would lose, and so that they could get rid of him. Like,
yeah, but Raider fans had no hope either.
Well,
last year.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off about that whole thing. Okay, we lose Gruden. Okay, because of this whole email scandal. Okay, Rich. God, why can't I think of his name? The special teams coach went to Green Bay. I'll find it here out later. But he was the interim. Okay, the players wanted him. Mark Davis, no, we're getting Josh McDaniels. Everybody hated him. Yeah, Devontae Adams fucking pissed during the games. Like, it was his way, no way. All Raider Nation was praying to get McDaniels out because we didn't want Patriots on our team anyways. He got rid of Carr, brought in Garoppolo. It was a disaster. So I will say this. Yes, you might need to change coaches, but it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
You might get somebody worse.
Nick Sirianni's been a good head coach for the Eagles the past 3 years.
No, he has. I think when I say that take, it's more so of, do these guys still got to show up and play, but do they also want to show up and play for the coach that they want to actually be underneath? I mean, look at Belichick and Brady, and look at Mahomes and Reed, and look at these guys that, year after year have the same coach, the same quarterbacks, most of the same roster coming back, and it's like they want to play for that guy. And I just look at the letdown that the Eagles had last year. And even the start of this year, I'm just like, man, this defense is upgrade. You look at their team on paper. I'm like, there's no reason we should lose a game. And then I think, all right, I know a lot of them are young. A lot of them are some rookies too coming in. But I'm just like, do they really want to play under this guy? Or is it just like, you know what, screw this man. The way you don't see everything that goes behind the scenes inside the locker room and what he says. But do we really want to play under him? Or we're like, oh, we'll go out and play, but we want someone new. But at the end of the day, they still got to show up and fucking play. So the more I thought about it, like you said, it was a bad take. Don't get me wrong. But I'm at the same point, I'm just like, well, fuck. Is it Sirianni? Does he have control of this team? Does he not? It's one of the things you just don't know until you see him play week in and week out.
That's fair. What about the Chargers Steelers? You think the Steelers are a real deal?
No.
You think they're luck?
They're 3-0, aren't they?
Yeah, they're 3-0. But it's an interesting road to 3-0.
I'll let Diamond Dave start that one.
Well, I mean, I hate the Chargers, so seeing them lose is great. Let's see here. They're 3-0. What did Fields do here? 25 for 32, 245 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Fields had a 5-yard touchdown run. Again, I didn't watch the game here. Field goal touchdown. I like Justin Fields. I think he got a lot of hate. He was under Luke Getsy, which is now the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. We'll get to that later. I think he was just in a bad system. I think the guy's got talent. Here's the thing. I think people get too much focused on the tangibles of like stats and shit. Stats mean shit. It's who's gonna be hot, and are they going to understand your system? Look at these. I think I might have said this before. You have these college players. They go win national championships because of the system. They understand the system, correct? But they can't understand the NFL system, so they're nobodies. They're not going to get drafted. A quarterback has to understand what he's doing. If you don't, it's pointless. I think in Chicago, he wasn't given a fair shot. He was given a bunch of shit. I think with Mike Tomlin, he's working with his strengths instead of his weaknesses.
I was say because who did Pittsburgh beat so far? Carolina, was it Denver, and then L.A. today?
I
Yeah.
think so. Was it the Carolina their first one? I thought it was somebody actually good because it was like, ooh,
No, it's Steelers one.
let
They
me look
did
here.
beat.
Or did
I
they
was
play
gonna
the
say,
Browns?
Week 1.
They played
Yeah.
Atlanta. They played Atlanta,
Atlanta, Denver,
and then they
LA.
played Denver. And they beat Denver.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't.
So,
I'd see him. They
because
could possibly
while you
make
guys
the
are
playoffs.
talking,
Sorry, go ahead.
when you guys were talking, am I just out loud and just I'm not going to go through it because obviously we don't have hours on end, but I'm just looking at their schedule. Some of the teams that you figure that they're playing, you got Indianapolis next week. They probably beat Indy, but then you go to Dallas, and then you play Dallas. Dallas been up and down. I don't know. It's a tough game because Steelers got a great defense. Dallas has no offense right now. But then you go to Vegas, or you play Vegas, you play the Jets, and then you kind of have a good, easy 2 weeks with the Giants and Washington. But then you go Baltimore, Cleveland, whatever, Cincy, Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincy again. So looking at it, I would have to agree in a way. Yeah, I think they make the playoffs, but I think they're still going to end up being at best 10-7, 9-8 team at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think there'll be a wild card.
Let me ask you this. What would make
Yeah.
you guys say the Steelers are legit?
If they beat some of those teams like Philly, Dallas, Baltimore, or like at least split them.
Kansas City, Cincy.
Jets, yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe. I mean, if they're a 10-7 wild card team, I won't see them doing much in the playoffs. Hanging on to their defense.
Because in my overall opinion too, week 1, I don't care what team it is. Week 1's tough. You could go half the league's going to go 0-1, half the team's going to go 1-0. You can't really judge that. So like Atlanta, realistically, Atlanta should be 0-2. Eagles should have beat Atlanta. Simple as that. It was one play. Should be 0-2. So is Atlanta going to be good? We're going to find out tonight too. Against Kansas City. We'll really see if they're a decent team or not. I mean, Kansas City, you know who they are. So, but the Steelers, yeah, I need to see them. I need Fields just like Jalen Hurts. Less turnovers, even though you win the game just like the Eagles did today. You need less turnovers. And I want to watch some games where you win 34-20, 34-17, win a game where it's like, I don't have to have my heart rate at 190 beats a minute being like, oh, we actually won. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I want to say that they're good. They're going to be good, but I can't tell yet. It's still even early.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about the Giants going over on the Browns?
I don't think the Browns are a good football team.
No.
But good win for the Giants.
Right.
Malik Neighbors, he's a good receiver.
Well, you got to give Daniel Jones credit today too. Not terrible game.
I mean, I wouldn't. Most of the completions to Neighbors are horrible throws. Neighbors just want to get it.
Right.
That's true
He's
too.
that good. Neighbors
true,
made
too.
Jones look good, is what I'll stand by. Singletary looked good. I just don't think the Browns have it. They don't have a quarterback. What did Deshaun do? I mean, no. Horrible, 21-37, 196, 2 tutties.
That's terrible.
But they're not even – that's not actually bad. But, well, yeah, under 200. I don't know.
That's a 56
turnovers.
completion percentage.
No turnovers. They can't spread the ball without a quarterback because Jerome Ford 10 for 37. When they get Chubb back, it's gonna be different, but they don't have a good quarterback. Watson sucks. I don't think the Giants are anywhere near a good football team yet. Their defense is pretty good. Still nowhere near.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I'm just kind of jumping on games here. I'm getting going here. We started a little late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Vikings over Texans. Is that an upset?
Yeah.
Dude, at this point, I don't know.
Are the Vikings legit?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know if it's an upset. Minnesota looks fucking good, dude. Minnesota looks good.
I guess I want to say it was an upset in a way because I just year after year when Sam Darnold gets a chance to play, you don't know what he's going to do. So it's almost like Kirk Cousins being on Atlanta. You think with all the talent they have around him, is he going to actually ball out and be what he needs to be? Or is he going to just like Derek Carr? Is he going to go 500 quarterback, and just win one game and the next
You
game.
don't
I mean,
know.
you don't know. So I don't. I think I know what Houston is, and I think that's why I say it's a little bit of an upset because Houston's got a good defense. Offense is stacked a little bit. CJ Stroud's a little young still, but I still see Houston being like that 12-5 team. So like Minnesota after having no quarterback, I didn't even project. I didn't even think they'd be a 500 team.
I mean,
Right.
So
dude, I don't know. Fucking the Vikings are doing this without one, TJ Hawkinson, and two, Jordan Addison.
yeah,
They're doing it without both of them. They just steamrolled the Texans, right? 34-7. They beat San Fran last week 23-17, and they stomped the Giants 28-6. So it's like, okay, at the start of the year, it's like, all right, Minnesota beat the Giants. So what? Giants suck. Then they host San Francisco, and they beat them. And you're like, okay, they're
Was it
an
a
all right
fluke?
team. It could have been. What's that?
Was it a fluke? You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is it a fluke? Did they just get lucky at home against San Fran, and then they come, host Houston, 2-0 at the time, and they fucking wrecked them. I mean, everybody. Sam Darnold, 17-28, 181 and 4 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns at the half. Aaron Jones, 19 for 102, 4 receptions for 46, 5 receptions for 46. I mean, the Vikings, dude, Sam Darnold, I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. I mean, the Jets failed him with a horrible offense. Then he goes to Carolina and that shit team. Minnesota's got something to offer him. I don't know. The Vikings could be sneaky. Sneaky.
what's Diamond Dave think? I haven't heard him say much. I know he's the one bouncing the games. I want to hear what you got to say with that one.
What, the Vikings Texans?
Yeah, was it an upset to you, or do you think you like the Vikings?
It's an upset to me, but it's an upset right now. But I think going forward, I think I'm going to give Vikings more credit. We got to. I think they proved it. They're not playing like the Titans and the Patriots. Like they got a couple good wins. I mean, they beat a Super Bowl team last year that was in the Super Bowl. Or last week, I'm sorry. You got to start giving them some credit. It's like with Steelers, you got to start giving them some credit. Just because we thought they were going to be shit doesn't mean that they are shit.
I just don't think they're. I mean, if you compare Minnesota and Pittsburgh, 2 teams you wouldn't think would do much this year, Minnesota by far the better team.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to make a post after this, after the podcast. I think I'm going to do a little boosted and stuff, but I'm going to do 3 teams, 3 games, 3 teams that won. I feel like the 3 upsets was the Giants over the Browns. I think the Vikings over Texans, and I think the Broncos over the Bucks. Do you guys agree with that?
That's another one. What about the Rams coming back and winning?
I think that's a big upset.
Rams and 49ers too. I mean, they won 27-24.
Yeah, they got beat by the Vikings last week, so it's like
That's true.
the Bucks are like, hey, Baker Mayfield, they're supposed to be contenders.
I will agree with that one. The Bucks, that was a little surprising to me. I thought, if anything, because I put the Bucks on my money line, I really did. I'm like, the Broncos, Bo Nix, whatever. But I'm thinking Baker's been playing well. They still got some offense, but it makes you wonder too. But I know that their defense is banged up also.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to agree with you. I think that Broncos Bucks probably the biggest upset of the week.
I did
really
horrible in my pick'em league. Holy shit, I did horrible in my pick'ems.
but are we in agreement though that those 3 teams, the Giants, Bucks, and winning week 3 is the way to go?
The biggest upset was definitely the Broncos over the Bucks.
Yeah, but I think all 3 of those you said, I would agree with. I really would. Bucks number 1, probably Giants number 2, or Vikings number 2, Giants number 3.
I just don't think the Vikings is that. I don't know. I feel
when
like
you look at every other game, it's like, who else do you think? The Packers still are a good team. The Lions and Cardinals, the Lions should still beat the Cardinals like they did. The Ravens, Cowboys, Seahawks, and Dolphins. The Dolphins don't have shit right now.
actually,
I
But
could
Raiders,
actually even
I don't
put
think it's that big of an upset. Is what I'm saying.
Diamond Dave's not going to like it, but I'd probably even put the Panthers over the Raiders,
Yeah,
over the Vikings.
well,
And
that's the thing. I mean,
I mean, that's just.
I say, Dave, you got those razors ready, right? You just lost to the Panthers, dude. I think you gotta get them ready.
I think it's
Hey,
time to talk about the Raiders. I need to hear Diamond Dave's
Yeah,
little
all right.
take.
Let's start it off.
I
Diamond
think
Dave.
it's time to go.
all right.
Give me
So,
give me 3 words of how you think about that game. 3 words.
what a joke. Yeah, seriously. I think AP's the guy. I think he's going to be the team, like the team coach. He's going to have the players back. He's going to listen to them, all that shit. I think Luke Getzey needs to get the fuck out of Vegas like tonight. You're running. We ran 3 times. Bam, 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 right up the middle. Zamir White right into the back of the line. Why are we doing this? Minshew was that. Did you guys see any of the highlights or any of the game?
I saw a little bit.
I didn't see much. I just saw the regular just updates.
There
Oh,
was
this
a
is this.
perfect pass by Minshew. Trey Tucker running, literally put his hands out, running, doesn't slow down, nothing. Lands right in his hands. You got to throw it downfield. We got to be more aggressive. Max Crosby was injured a little bit, I guess. He didn't play 100% of the snaps, so something's up.
Aiden O'Connell came in.
He came in towards the end. And, look, I know I give a lot of Aiden O'Connell praise here. And, Nasty Nate's probably not going to like it. But I was wrong. He is not like Tom Brady. Okay? He is better than Tom Brady. He is better than Tom Brady.
Dave, I just got
for when he came in, he had a good game. I won't say that.
I got 4
Tom
words.
Brady, but
4 words for you.
5.
Get
Never will be
your
Tom Brady.
razors ready.
Get your razors ready. So he's so aggressive.
You're
He's
shaving that beard.
I don't think I ever agreed to it. Do you remember that, Dan?
We can
Oh, you
replay
did.
the video.
You did. Yeah, we're bringing
We
it back.
can replay it. And
I think I even have the timestamp on that one.
God, that's going to be cold in February.
Yeah. That's why you should do it now. By that way, you won't be, you won't have double stack disappointment. You won't be like,
no
oh,
way.
shit, my beard. And, oh, shit, the Raiders suck. It'll just be, oh, shit, the Raiders suck. But at least I got this beard.
I think I'm just more surprised. I think not even your offense. I shouldn't even say that. I think I'm more surprised that Andy Dalton came out, was 26-37, 319 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and gave up 114 rushing yards to Chuba Hubbard. And I'm just like, man, I know I'll give you credit. The Raiders defense, I would say like the Eagles defense. I mean, like you guys have a lot of talent in the backfield there that I'm just like, that was our rush defense the first 2 games of the season. It really was. We had nothing. And then today it's like, oh, it came out of nowhere. Jalen Carter decided to step up. And I'm just like, wow, I couldn't believe the Raiders were down at one point. What were you down? 18 or 20 at one point?
It was 27-7 at one point.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you're down 20 at one point. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
It was so we were heading back, and I was like, I gotta get back for the game, okay? And I shouldn't have rushed to get home. I should have just stayed out and had some fun. Because my God, that was bad. I like when we were starting. It was the first time, like in Vegas, that it was all pretty much black. And like you didn't see opposing callers in the stands, and I'm like, here we go, get an easy win. Those fans will be hyped. They'll come back next. You know what I mean? Like we shit the bed.
The boos were heavy,
especially being Baltimore in Baltimore. Like I'm just thinking, you're playing the Panthers. I mean, weren't you guys like 6-point favorites?
We were. Let me ask you this. Does Andy Dalton make the Panthers not legitimate in the sense of going to the Super Bowl, but are they going to actually be a tough team this year?
No.
Yeah,
But
no.
I don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. What would I say? I wouldn't look at Andy Dalton, or I can't evaluate him yet after one game.
Okay.
I think
Because,
Andy Dalton gives them more of a chance to win. I'll put
Yeah,
it
than
that
Bryce
way.
Young, 100%.
He
I
gives them
just
more of
can't
a
be
chance
like,
of
is he a
winning.
good quarterback? No,
No,
yeah, I can't.
I
I can't
mean,
sit here and be like, just because of that game, oh yeah, Andy Dalton's MVP. I
Right.
mean, we'll see how he does. Who do they got? They got Cincinnati. They got Chicago, Atlanta, Washington, Denver, New Orleans. I mean, those next few weeks, if he can, go 500 in that sense, I say, move on from Bryce Young, keep him going.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I threw something up on the page, just hypothetical. Do
That
you think?
trade?
Yeah, just for fun, shits and giggles. Do you think? A second round pick would be good for him? You think that? I mean, a team should give him that.
I'd
At
give him a fucking. I wouldn't even give
third.
him a handshake.
Okay.
I'd
I'd
give him
spit on their hand.
at
Spit on my
most
pen.
for Bryce Young. I'm not saying Bryce Young he doesn't have potential. I mean, the kid's still young. At most, right now, I'm giving you a third, maybe a fourth round pick for him. That's even going a little steep, I think.
I'm going fucking 5.
Yeah, probably. Because
I would do this. I would do Skylar Thompson and a 6th-round pick for Bryce Young.
Okay. Well, speaking of that trade that I posted, okay, let's move on to the team that they could have traded with, the Dolphins. They lost 3-24.
The Dolphins are cooked.
they're done.
Even with Tua, dude, they didn't look too good.
it
They're
makes it makes you upset being a fantasy player and fantasy teams of having Tyreek Hill on your team. That's how bad it is.
And
The
a
guy,
chain.
yeah,
I think long term, I think for Tua, this concussion is going to be bad for him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to push him to retire. I hate saying this under these circumstances, but it's probably what's best for Miami. I think it's time they move on from Tua. I think he shouldn't have never gotten that extension. I think he should have had maybe a prove it year,
Mhm.
but
he's going to be like an Andrew Luck. I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to be one of them guys that it's going to be. I need to have another concussion or 2 or 3 to be like, okay, I can't play an entire season. Actually, I can't even play half of a fucking season, and I get a concussion every single year because I don't know what I'm really doing when it comes to running or
Yeah.
unlucky, tackles or this and that, or just being reckless. For him to
sure.
sit there and be like, oh, I'm 6 years in, I'm getting hurt every year. I made my money by just sitting the bench. Yeah, I'll take my money and leave. I think that's
Yeah.
what it's going to take.
I think for him, no, sorry, Nate.
No, you're good.
I think for him, I think he, even if he was to say tomorrow, I'm retired, I have a good feeling in my gut that the Dolphins will keep him around and have him on the staff in some way. Then they should, because they kind of threw him out and got those concussions like 3 weeks in a row or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have a little something out in left field.
Okay.
Carson Wentz to the Dolphins.
Why not? Why not? I mean, what do you have to lose? Can you get what can you get for him?
You didn't have
You know
a
what I mean?
bad time in Indianapolis when he was there. I mean, wasn't great either, but let's pull up Carson Wentz stats here.
While you're doing that, all my opinion is that Carson Wentz is like your RG3. He's a guy that's willing to just stay in the league and make his bread and just have a face on the league and, be a part of a Super Bowl winning team, even though he didn't do a lot and this and that. He's never going to be a guy that he's like, actually, you know what? Great comparison, whether people know it or not. He's like a Ben Simmons. He's willing to play. He's willing to show up, but as soon as he gets hurt, he's just there still.
Will this change your mind?
Probably not.
So it should, because it's stats. 2019, his MVP year, and he got injured. 4,039 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, a rating of 93.1. That next year after he was hurt, when he wasn't the same, and then he got injured in the playoffs, 26, 20 yards, 16 touchdowns, 15 picks, 72.8 rating. Then he goes to Indianapolis. This is when Indianapolis wasn't good in 2021. And the whole shit show with Jonathan Taylor, I think, too. 3,563 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 picks with a 94.6 rating. Then he goes to Washington, shit-ass team, didn't play the entire year. 1,755 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks, 80.2 rating.
Right.
And then he played one singular game with LA last year, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 99.8 rating that game. I'd say why not give him a shot? With that team, they got an explosive offensive team. Their defense is all right. They're just missing a quarterback. Why not?
Right.
I'm
think
not.
they should.
I'm not against it, but that's kind of my comparison. It's just like, you got a guy like Ben Simmons who has the potential and the talent, but it's just like, can he ever really truly put it together? Even with a team like that.
Carson Wentz did put it together. 2021 goes to the Colts, has a great season. 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. In Indy that year that they kind of sucked.
It's not that I don't want to agree with you. Like you said, why not? Sure, why not?
I think he would give the Dolphins
a better chance than what they got.
Yeah, a lot better. I mean, any other backup quarterback, I feel like Carson Wentz deserves to have a starting spot.
Here's the thing. They've lost. Here's what I would love. And I'm not going to get into politics and all that shit. But I would love for Mike McDaniel. He's the younger guy. Like, bring in Kaepernick so we don't have to hear the shit. Like, if he could take him, then great. We proved us wrong. And if not, then he can go off into the fucking wherever. But, like, I'm tired of hearing about him. Oh, but I still want to play. Here's the perfect chance. Go down there. You got Tyreek Hill. Play.
Yeah, and it's not even the politics that got him out of the league. He just fucking sucked. Kaepernick had that
what
one
I'm saying is everybody says it's the politics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But he just wasn't a good quarterback.
I agree.
The year he went to the Super Bowl. After that sucked. But I just think you give Carson Wentz a shot like that, and I'm not even saying – I loved Carson Wentz. I love his foundation. I love how he carries himself. I love he doesn't talk shit. He's a down-to-earth guy.
Right.
Give him a fucking shot, dude. You got nothing to lose in Miami. You got a guy, Carson Wentz, who's got a cannon of an arm with a wide receiver that runs like a cannonball.
Right.
Like, why not?
I agree. I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got 15 minutes to kickoff, boys. We got to get going.
I'm going to say, first off, can I say one thing real quick? Quick. I just want to say we can move on. Fuck the Cowboys. They lost. Piece of shit. 1 and 2.
I was going to say.
Fuck Dak Prescott. But
perfect.
I just want to say that. Sorry.
No. Quick thoughts. 49ers Rams. Quick thoughts. Go, Dan.
49ers Rams upset. 49ers should have won. They blew that. Defense choked.
Nasty date?
Not the same team.
Okay. Ravens Cowboys. Nasty date. You go first.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Love it. Dynasty Dan.
Ravens had that game locked. Almost blew it. But good win. Fuck the Cowboys.
Love it.
Kick 5.
Now let's get to the game, boys. Chiefs Falcons.
You start us off, Diamond Dave.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go here.
Actually,
think. Oh, okay. Whoa.
Oh,
Dynasty Dan.
What I gotta say tonight is, Eagles when they played the Falcons blew it. Should have won. I think the Chiefs roll over on the Falcons tonight. I really do. I think they're going to get pressure on like the Eagles did. They're going to get pressure on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins with the pressure won't stand up to it.
Score.
Chiefs win 31-21.
I think Chiefs 31. I'll go 31-14 though. I think Cousins gets a couple touchdowns in.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Wow. Okay.
Kirk Cousins, back-to-back primetime game wins. I think tonight's a shootout. I think the Chiefs have a Travis Kelce type game. I could see Kelce going like 7 for 115 and 2 touchdowns. But I see the rush being a problem for them. I think Bijan has a huge game. I don't know. I got the Falcons 38, the Kansas City Chiefs 33.
38.
I see a big game.
So they're in your books. They're not covering the spread. The Chiefs are not covering the spread.
Nope, they're losing.
All right.
Okay.
Alright.
Then let's get to tomorrow's game. Jags, Bills. They say any given Sunday. I'm going to say any given Monday. Jags, okay? Let's give them 21-14, baby. Let's go. Jags with the win.
I'm saying Bills. Bills are going to cover the spread -5.5. Bills are winning 34-17.
Wrong.
Diamond Dave frozen, or fuck. Hell must have frozen over.
It is chilly.
Because the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to get it done in Buffalo. Trevor Lawrence, bounce back game. Brian Thomas Jr. shows the league what he is.
Nasty day. Will you give me a 5?
Yes, sir, I will.
3, 2, 1.
You
Yeah,
get multiple.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dan.
That's fine with me. I'm telling you, both are wrong on that one.
Jacksonville getting it done in Buffalo.
The Bills usually get upset once a year, right? I mean, let's be real.
I think the Jags are going to find out what their team potential is tomorrow.
Yep. I do too. Primetime games are just different. Like when you watch the 1 and 4 o'clock games, like they're good, but it's just the lights. I mean, any team can like step up and win a game.
Yeah.
Have an upset.
What Atlanta did.
Don't forget, there's still one more Monday night game.
Huh?
There's 2 Monday night games tomorrow.
I did not realize that. Commanders
Bengals.
I'm gonna have to say, you ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
I already know he's taking because I'm probably gonna take the same.
Commanders over Bengals, 24-21.
Go ahead, Nasty Nate. What do you got?
I got Oh, by the way, for my other Monday night game, I got Jacksonville. Got Jacksonville 31, Buffalo 21. For tomorrow, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow having an absolute monster of a game. I got Cincinnati. I got Jamar Chase going off. I got Cincinnati 27, Washington 13.
Okay.
I'm just going straight to it. Commanders. I don't want it to because it's division with the Eagles, but I'm saying Commanders. Jaden Daniels, I think, is actually he doesn't have as much offense like Caleb Williams does, but I think Jaden Daniels is a better overall quarterback than what Caleb Williams is going to be in his career.
Yep.
Commanders are going to beat the Bengals, I think 24-18. I think Austin Eckler shows up a little bit more, even though he's getting a little bit up there. He has a couple I think he scores a rushing touchdown. I think the Bengals scare me a little bit. Yeah, they played the Chiefs, but they always play the Chiefs well. They always play the Chiefs well. It does not matter. But after week 1 and watching that game, I don't know. I think Jaden Daniels is able to run over him a little bit. I think he's got a little bit better of an arm. And I think that Terry McLaurin has a great game, and it's going to be the Commanders 24-18.
Joe Burrow, ever since he came in the league, is starting off a little rough. And then he's figured it out. I think first week sucked. Second week, he had a better week. This week, I feel like it's a statement win from the Bengals. As we all say, you were saying earlier, you're hoping, the Eagles come out and they just make a statement game and just win. I feel like a lot of teams have those statement wins. And I think that this is the statement win that the Bengals are going to get here in Washington.
Well, there you have it.
Yes, there you have it, folks. I love it.
Nasty Nate, Diamond Dave, and Dynasty Terrible Take Dan are out.
Yes. Till next time, let's get ready for the game, boys.
Peace out.
Peace.